Greetings. We are Sirius. We want to join other members of the Galactic Federation of Light and express our solidarity and support to you in this crucial transition period for your planet. We will try to explain why our support is so important to you and why our contacts with you have intensified right now. The fact is that we, unlike you, perfectly see the picture as a whole, that is, all the energy changes that occur with your planet and can predict their consequences. We can also influence them to some extent, but we strictly adhere to the principle of non-interference in the affairs of other planets, unless we are asked to do so. But in order to ask for help, you must know what awaits you if events develop in an unfavorable manner for you and understand what and how we can do for you. We will tell you about how we can influence the situation on Earth in order to remove this last obstacle on the path of your ascension. The dark forces can be defeated only together, by bringing together the energy potential of both the light workers embodied on Earth and the ascended masters, angels, archangels and other light beings living on the subtle plane of the Earth. But if we, friendly representatives of other planets and civilizations, join all of you, then you will become truly indestructible, since we will be able to oppose the dark forces with energies of such high vibrations that no one can resist them. And as soon as this last battle takes place, the path to ascension will be open to thousands and thousands of new human souls, since no one will be able to influence their consciousness, driving it into the narrow framework of stereotypes and patterns, which has allowed people to be manipulated for so many centuries. And we want you to know, our dear brothers and sisters, that we are always ready to join you and lend a helping hand, that you can always count on us as your most faithful friends, that our only desire is to see you happy inhabitants of the reborn Earth, which threw off the shackles of duality and passed into the fifth dimension together with you, her beloved children. Sincerely loving you, representatives of the planet Sirius spoke to you. Greetings, dear Earthlings. Let's talk further about the community of civilizations of Sirius. Each civilization in space has its own individual egregor, which in a certain way affects the uniqueness of the souls that are part of it. But this influence is not fundamental for the formation of individuality, just as the sign of the zodiac only partially modifies your personality in the direction of its concept. And yet, I should tell you what common character traits our community of civilizations and the star Sirius are developing. Your astronomers have noticed that our star has a rich white-blue color, and this is an indicator of that ray, under the auspices of which is the global soul personality of Sirius. Although initially it was not white and blue, but blue. But then, during its evolution, it acquired the qualities of a white ray and became white-blue, significantly increasing its brightness and luminosity even in the physical dimension. You know that stars can change their color and volume over time, becoming red giants or white dwarfs. So our Sirius changed its color, and your sun will change its color and volume at a certain moment of evolution. Sirius is in the blue spectrum of development, although the color of the physical body of the stars is not always a reflection of their belonging to certain rays of the universe. This is the same as the color of a person's skin does not determine which forces he belongs to. You once say that people with black skin, logically, are from dark forces, and those with white skin are from light ones? This is a wrong idea. And even if your sun becomes a white dwarf, it will belong to the yellow ray, despite the whiteness of its physical body. Although, if it so desires, it can consciously become a representative of the white ray. One way or another, the color of the star still leaves an energetic imprint on souls, despite the fact that the star belongs to a ray of a different color. With us, Sirius has both the color blue and belonging to the blue ray. Here we have a match. It is also worth noting that our star is a steam room, has a male and female hypostasis, specifically manifested in the physical universe. You call it Sirius A and Sirius B. In general, this is a single essence, which is divided into two twin flames. Such a strong harmony of male and female during the Kali Yuga kept the divine light in our star system. Your son lost his twin wife in physical manifestation, but she remained in subtle dimensions that are not visible to you. This is another reason why there is only one three-dimensional planet with physical life left in the solar system after passing through the dark region of the galaxy. While there are many such planets in Sirius, a man without a woman is weak before the attacks of the Dark Ones. Without the harmony of yin and yang, light noticeably loses. Sirius B is a white dwarf and male. He overtook his wife, Sirius A, in development, and urges her on, because of which he developed from the blue spectrum to blue-white. Sirius B also, as before, belongs to the blue ray, but its physical shell has greatly thickened and concentrated, and therefore begin to radiate streams of white light. Also, his subtle bodies are strongly overflowing with white radiance. The white ray, the ray of all rays, including all the colors of the rainbow, has strongly entered the life of the civilizations of our star system. The universality and absolute versatility of the nature of the white ray has increased the harmony in our civilizations. The extremes of movement in any one of the directions of development are balanced in them. However, the blue ray remained fundamental, since switching completely to the white ray is an extremely difficult task for any soul, including our Sirius. But our twin star does not pursue this. It pursues evolution and harmony, and therefore actively engaged in the development in itself of all the qualities of the universe at the same time, which characterize the white ray. Sirius in the subtle worlds and in the physical has planets from all the rays of the universe. Our star system, like yours in principle, is a rainbow palette. Therefore, it is worth considering the influence of each of the planets of Sirius on our personalities. But if we talk about the influence of our star, then we can cite the following common features of the Sirians. We love to communicate, learn new things, all sciences are close to us, speech and oratory are in our blood, wisdom and balance, our credo, we love truth and sincerity, we are happy to cut the heads of the dark forces. We are very intelligent and gentle, concerned about justice in the universe, law-abiding. We love to teach and help both with advice and deed. The above character traits are characteristic of the blue ray, but there is also a strong influence of the white ray. Here are just the character traits of this ray. These are all the qualities that generally exist in reality. Is it worth listing them? I think you are interested in the unique differences between the Sirians from other aliens and yourself. And everything is contained in the white ray, which means that the specific characteristics of the Sirians will not be revealed. We all have different souls. Some are very calm and some are very emotional. There are all kinds of characters, and it cannot be limited by the individual ray of our star, just as your son cannot determine who you should be. After all, you are not all representatives of the yellow ray, are you? But the sun influences you in one way or another, forming in you certain qualities of a yellow ray. Are you curious to know what we look like? Certainly interesting. Smiles. Our main gene pool is as follows: all white, most blue-eyed and dark-haired, although other eye and hair colors are also common. We have 2 arms and 2 legs. In short, we are as humanoid as you are, only our growth is different. The higher the dimension, the higher the growth of its representatives. For example, the Sirians of the 4th dimension have a height of 3 to 3.5 meters. In addition, they can expand their bodies to unprecedented volumes. But without artificially created expansion, their bodies in their normal folded state are about the same height. More precisely, their densest body has such a growth. Other bodies, of course, reach other heights. After all, as you know, the thinner this or that body, the more voluminous it is, the mental body is larger than the emotional one, and so on. My height reaches 12 meters. I am in the 7th dimension. This is the height of my densest body. In the 5th dimension, the height of the Sirians varies from 4 to 5 meters or more. depending on the light development of the soul and the ratio of the elements and rays in it. Why are we so superior to you? And everything is very simple. The more energy is in the bodies, the more space they occupy. This, one might say, is an inflatable ball. The more air it contains, the more voluminous it is. Your material bodies have very little energy, and that is why they occupy such a small piece of space. The bodies of souls of the fourth dimensions are filled with such an amount of light that no longer fits within a 2-meter height. Hence such a high growth of the Sirians of the fourth dimension. Divine light makes everyone a giant. So accumulate light in your soul and then you will become great, ceasing to consider yourself dust particles, unable to change anything in this world. That's why you can see that people who are overflowing with light feel that they are able to change the world for the better. And an ordinary dark person goes into his hole and says, "My head is on the edge." Darkness really has the ability to reduce everything, reducing everything to the size of a meaningless speck of dust, on which nothing depends. And the light strives to expand and increase everything, to make it meaningful. Growth is also determined by the belonging of the soul to one ray or another. For example, the red ray diffuses and expands energy more strongly, because its representatives are higher than those souls who have the same amount of light inside, but they are from a different ray. And the violet ray is more concentrated and compressed, therefore its representatives may be shorter. Imagine a giant hero playing with biceps. This is a representative of the red ray, the soul of physical strength, powerful manifestation in matter. Now imagine a lean ascetic monk sitting on a mountain and experiencing God in meditation. This is a representative of the violet ray, as close as possible to the world of subtle spiritual energies. But since each soul has in itself not only the most diverse rays, but also the elements, it is not necessary that the soul of the red ray will be high, and the violet, low. Each ray simply leaves its mark. And if we talk about the elements, then the earth makes you shorter, as if attracting you to itself, and the fire makes you taller, stretched upwards. Water and air are the average intermediate altitude. Some physical objects of the universe can serve as an example of what has been said. A white dwarf is called a dwarf for a reason. It is much smaller than your sun, but the concentration of energies and matter in it is simply colossal. White is an even more subtle ray than violet. And there are also red giants in space, the physical matter of which is simply unimaginably huge. And again, they are red for a reason. After all, the red spectrum is the maximum expansion horizontally, in breadth, and the white spectrum is the maximum expansion along the vertical, that is, the narrowing of everything into a concentrated energy of the spirit, directed upwards. Let's get back to our appearance. In some Sirian civilizations that live in higher dimensions, there is a gene pool of blue-skinned people, but this blueness is more of a slight tint, a powder on the white skin of such Sirians. That is, it is not an absolute blue color. And all Sirians of the third dimension have white skin, with or without a tan. Why are we humanoid? And why do we have to grow tentacles from the head? Laughs, dear ones. So a large part of the white-skinned earthlings have their origin from Sirius. After all, our representatives inhabited both the Earth and other planets of the solar system. And if we had tentacles on our heads, then many of your white-skinned people would also grow wildly smiles. In fact, most of the civilizations in the universe are humanoid. The Creator himself constantly uses this form. It is the most optimal and verified by the golden ratio. Especially civilizations from higher dimensions are overwhelmingly in the form of a person. After all, the souls that follow the path of light are likened to the Creator in one way or another, both in form and in content. Other forms of intelligent life in different dimensions are practiced as an exception, not the rule, as a way of learning new things. The dark civilizations are very fond of departing from the pattern of the Creator's form. Here they have tentacles growing on their heads. The Anunnaki and the Gray Men are very ugly and scary, aren't they? They are terrifying by their very appearance. This is how their inner essence is manifested in their appearance. The gene pool of the whites of the earth is replenished with other star systems that are close neighbors for you, just like we, Sirius. The gene pool of yellowskins, redskins and blacks is also replenished from other neighboring stars. We are white people. This is how we, the Sirians, are very similar in appearance to you. But our difference from you is within us. It is a strong desire for God and creation in the universe of goodness. And we want to erase this difference by helping you become highly spiritual beings. Be happy. Your Salusa from Sirius to be continued.